Hare Krishna. We are extremely fortunate to have among us His Grace Shubha Vilas Prabhu. So just to give a quick introduction, he's very, very famous all over the world. Especially his books and presentation on Ramayana is mesmerizing. You'll practically, when you hear from him, you'll feel like you are following him and seeing all the intricate details of the pastimes of Lord Ram. And he embeds valuable life lessons in each and every such lessons. And he has done tremendous research on Ramayana, and there is a set of books will be available somewhere here. A 6-volume of Ramayana set that has inspired many, many people all over the world. It is the bestseller on Hanuman, on Lord Shiva, on Ganesha. Very wonderful stories, very interesting pastimes of Lord Ram to hear. So he joined as a monk in ISKCON Chowpatty, India, Maharashtra. 11 years he practiced very strict sadhana, deep research, and that knowledge today he shares all over the world. He's ISKCON Goa temple president. So other than that, different corporates, he gives seminar. He has written a book on Love 5.5, Perfect Love. So very, very fascinating way, practical, relatable way. He presents the ancient knowledge of scriptures in a very, very interesting way. So I'll not hold you for a long. Let us experience his immersive journey that he will take us. Very transformative. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradari Jai Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashoda Nandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Yashoda Nandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashoda Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe Jayo Radha Shama Sundar Radha Shama Sundar Radhe Jayo Radha Damodara Radha Damodara Radhe Jai Jai Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Nitta Gaura Haribo 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 Nitta Gaura Haribo Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Agyantimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutaha Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Shute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vanchakalpatarobhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyeva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. Very grateful, happy and honored to be amidst all of you here at ISKCON of Silicon Valley. It's always a great privilege to be in this association Sangha of all of you. We hear so many wonderful glories about what all of you all are doing here under the able guidance of Vaisheshika Prabhu and all the leaders here. and it's always great pleasure to be here. So today, on the auspicious month of Karthik, and celebrating the month of Damodar, I thought I'll speak some deeper insights into Damodar Leela that many of you all may not have heard of. And some of the things that I'm going to share with you today, it'll make you so happy. So that's the goal of today's session, to make all of you happy. So today we're going to see, first I'll begin with the first part of Damodar Leela that many of you may have heard some parts of it before. But then I'll take you all to some part of Damodar Leela that you would have never heard before. And we'll end at a crescendo, at something that will make you all so blissful. Okay? Ready? All ready for Damodar Leela? This particular pastime of Krishna, the Damodar Leela, is one pastime that is celebrated for a whole month. Most festivals that we celebrate in the Vedic culture are usually celebrated for a day, for 2 days, maximum for 9 days. But here is a festival that is celebrated for an entire month. So you can imagine how important this festival is, that we are celebrating every day for a whole month. So why is this festival so important, and why is this celebrated so much? So that's what we're going to be seeing today in this session. The story begins on the Diwali morning. So next week is Diwali, isn't it? And that's the day on which this story happened. The Damodar Leela happened on the Diwali day. Early in the morning, on Diwali, early morning, Mother Yashoda got up to prepare sweets for Krishna. She wanted to do it herself. She had so many servants. She was not living in America, basically. And they could afford many maid servants at home. She had so many assistants, but yet she decided to cook herself. There are many things that can be outsourced, including cutting vegetables. Nowadays you get cut vegetables from the market, isn't it? So you can outsource many things, but there's one thing you can't outsource, that is devotional service. You can't hire someone to chant for you. Imagine if that was possible, So many of us would have probably outsourced, chanting first. So there are some things that we can't outsource. And one of that is devotional service. And Mother Yashoda, she didn't want to give that privilege of service to someone else. Devotional service is not a chore, it's a privilege. And Mother Yashoda felt privileged that she is getting to serve Krishna personally. And therefore she chose to do it herself. So she got up early in the morning to prepare sweets for Krishna. And as you must have guessed it, she didn't buy sweets from the market. She made sweets for Krishna. And Mother Yashoda, to prepare these sweets for Krishna, she got very special type of milk to prepare the sweets. And the milk that Mother Yashoda had was sourced from a very unique way. So Mother Yashoda and Nanda Maharaja had 900,000 cows in their Goshala, of which 8 were the best of the best cows. And Mother Yashoda would feed 7 of those cows a very special type of grass called Padma Gandha grass. It was a very special grass because it had the flavor of lotuses. So when the cows would eat the grass, the milk that would come out from their udders would smell like lotuses. And the milk from these 7 cows, she would feed the eighth cow. And the milk from that eighth cow she would use to make sweets for Krishna. So you can imagine the quality of the milk that would come from the eighth cow. Now you might wonder, why take so much trouble? You know? I mean, nowadays who takes any kind of trouble, isn't it? No, we don't even think where the milk has come from. We don't even think what is happening. We just use whatever we get, isn't it? Love is in details. When you love someone, how much details are you ready to go in? That shows how much you love the person. And when you don't really love someone, you don't really care for details. You just do it, very mechanically. Mother Yashoda really loved Krishna, and therefore she went to such pains and such troubles to get such high quality milk for Krishna. The reason I'm telling you this part of the story is because the importance of milk will come in some time. Mother Yashoda, as she was making these sweets for Krishna using this milk, she had a very interesting habit. She would sing when she was cooking. So whenever she was cooking, she would sing. And she would sing beautiful songs about Krishna's pastimes. And the interesting thing was, Mother Yashoda, every day she would sing a new song. Because every day she would compose a new song. The previous day, in the evening, when the friends of Krishna would come back from the forest, they would all come and tell Yashoda all the things that Krishna did in the forest. So Mother Yashoda would remember all those pastimes of Krishna in the forest, and she would make a song out of it in the evening. And the song that she would compose the previous night, that song she would sing the next morning while cooking. And all the gopis that were around her, all the maids that were around her, they would hear Mother Yashoda singing this song about the pastimes of Krishna, and they would by heart it themselves. They would learn it themselves. And they would go home and sing the song, to their family members. So the whole family would learn those songs. And by the next evening, everyone in Vrindavan would be singing those songs. So that means every single day, there would be a new song would be trending in Vrindavan, And every single day, Mother Yashoda would compose a new song that would really go viral, Isn't it so beautiful? Yeah. Mother Yashoda, when she would sing these songs, so that particular day when she was singing the song, she was so absorbed in singing that her entire being was surcharged, was rejuvenated, was so involved in the song. The amazing thing was, not only was Mother Yashoda singing, but all the gopis that were around her, they were also participating in the kirtan. So Yashoda would be singing, she was churning the butter, the rod that is there in the pot of butter, and it's moving, in a to and fro way. The rod would be churning the yogurt that is there, and the yogurt would create a swishing sound. That sound would be in rhythm with the song. And the rod that is touching the base of the pot, that would be creating a sound. Again, that will be in sync with the song. Her earrings would be moving to and fro, and they also will be ringing in rhythm with the song. Her bangles, the bangles would be moving to and fro. Even the bangles were in rhythm. And not only she, all the gopis were doing different things in the kitchen. All of them are doing things. When you cook, there are a lot of sounds that come, right? Mixies and the clanging of the pots and the handles. All of that was in sync with Mother Yashoda's song. What a symphony, isn't it? And Mother Yashoda, that particular day, she was wearing a orange color sari. And the acharyas explain that she was actually a nitya sannyasi. Because a sannyasi is someone whose mind, body and words are absorbed in Krishna. Mother Yashoda's mind was completely absorbed in Krishna. Her body was engaged in serving Krishna. And her words that were coming out from her mouth were completely absorbed in Krishna. And therefore, she was a sannyasi. And of course, she was wearing an orange sari, So the idea of sannyas in the Vaishnav traditions is not connected necessarily with giving up your home, giving up your families, giving up your responsibilities. It is connected with the spirit. And therefore, the whole idea of Tridandi sannyasi is the one whose mind, body, and words are completely absorbed in Krishna. You may be a lady, you may be a simple housewife, you may be a mother, you may be someone working in an office, you might be someone driving a car. At any point in time, you can be in this mood of a Nitya sannyasi. So as Mother Yashoda was doing this, inside the bedroom, little Krishna was turning around, tossing around in his bed. Krishna in Vrindavan doesn't get up early because he's a baby. And he is allowed to get up at any time he wants. In our temples, he's a king. So there's a very particular time in which he gets up, and there's a lot of systems basically around it. But at home, he is cool. He gets up whenever he wants, But this particular day, Mother Yashoda was singing so beautifully that Krishna was he just couldn't sleep. He was constantly getting attracted towards the song of Mother Yashoda. Narad Muni asks the Lord, my dear Lord, all of us have a permanent address. What is your permanent address? If somebody wants to write a postal letter to the Lord, where do you send the letter? Some post office, some number, some zip code, So Krishna tells Narad Muni that I do not reside where the yogis are. I don't reside in complicated places, but I reside in a very simple place. And that's my permanent address. He says, Yatra gayanti madbhaktra, tatra tishtami narada. He says, wherever my devotees congregate together, sing with love, that's where I am. Of course, the permanent address of the Lord keeps varying, It's like, sometimes here, sometimes there, So here was Mother Yashoda singing with so much love that Krishna just couldn't stay on bed. He woke up, he was feeling very sleepy, but he was literally dragged out of bed by the love of Mother Yashoda. So he began to crawl towards Mother Yashoda. He was not exactly in a position to walk because he was too sleepy, and he was crawling towards Mother Yashoda. And when he saw her, he saw that her eyes were closed, and she was absorbed in churning the yogurt. So somehow he caught the pot of butter and he stood up. And he thought Mother Yashoda would pay him attention. But Mother Yashoda was absorbed, the eyes closed. And Krishna said, this is too much. She's calling me and I have come here and yet she's not giving me attention. So Krishna is a very demanding lover. He demands for attention. He demands for love, He's not someone who is okay if you don't love him. He's okay if you love him, He's not like that. He demands for it. What he wants, he takes, So Krishna caught hold of that churning rod, which Mother Yashoda was churning. It's moving, swishing. He just caught hold of that rod. I don't know how many of you all have gone to Udupi. There's a beautiful deity of Krishna called Udupi Krishna. And that's the form of Krishna that you see there, holding the rod. I don't know if you have seen Udupi Krishna. He's holding a rod there. And that rod is Mother Yashoda's churning rod. He's not allowing that rod to move. And when Krishna holds that rod, the churning stops. And Mother Yashoda is shaken out of her absorption of her samadhi. And she realizes Krishna has come. And Krishna is holding the rod very tight. That rod, the churning rod, represents intelligence. Manthan comes from matha, which means the churning rod, comes from the word manthan. Manthan means churning. And just like in the Samudra Manthan, the mountain was used as a churning rod and the entire ocean of milk was churned. Similarly, Mother Yashoda here is churning one pot of yogurt with the churning rod. For Krishna, this is very allegorical in nature. The ocean of milk represents all the Vedas. Right now, this pot of yogurt represents all the Vedas. And that rod that has gone in, the Mandara mountain, and the churning rod that has gone in, represents our intelligence. So we have to use our intelligence to churn the Vedas. And when you churn the Vedas using your intelligence, after a lot of study of the Vedas, churning means studying, after a lot of studying of the Vedas, finally what comes out, Krishna says, Vedesya sarver aham eva vedyo. So he says, after you churn all the Vedas, what comes out is me. And Krishna is telling Mother Yashoda, I am already here. Why you are churning, wasting your time, She's telling, Krishna is telling her, why are you wasting your time churning butter? I am already here. The essence of all your churning is here standing, So he stops her from churning. He doesn't allow her to churn. So for all those who are bhaktas, who are devotees of Krishna, we don't need to churn all the Vedas. We don't need to churn all the scriptures. We don't need to churn so much of intelligence. The essence of that intelligence is standing here, right in front of us, So just love him, that's all. So Krishna is telling her, don't waste your time churning your Vedas using intelligence. Just love me. Give me attention. So Mother Yashoda realizes that Krishna wants love and attention. So she picks up Krishna and puts Krishna on her lap. And she starts feeding him her milk. And as Mother Yashoda is feeding Krishna her milk, Krishna closes his eyes and is just absorbed in the love of Mother Yashoda. It is explained that Krishna is so into the milk, drinking the milk of Mother Yashoda, he completely forgets the whole world. And in the meanwhile, Mother Yashoda continues churning. Devotees are very good in multitasking, So she's feeding him milk also, but she's continuing churning also because she knows this churning is very good, very important. Why? Because I'm doing it for him only. I'll have to make sweets for him from this, butter that comes out. And Krishna is drinking milk happily. And as this is happening, there is a pot of milk on the stove which is boiling over. So that pot of milk is thinking. See, in Vrindavan, everything is animated. Everything has life. And everything thinks. Everything experiences, feels. So the pot of milk on the stove is thinking, Mother Yashoda's love is unlimited. Krishna's capacity to accept the love of Mother Yashoda is unlimited. So the milk of Mother Yashoda is unlimited. And Krishna's ability to drink the milk also is unlimited. So he will keep drinking, she will keep giving. What about me? Who's going to drink me? So the milk on the stove is thinking, my life is useless now. Because if Krishna doesn't drink me, what is the use of me living? So the milk in the stove decided to commit suicide. He decided to boil over and jump into the fire. He says, I don't see any reason why I should live. And he was boiling over. And as Mother Yashoda was hearing the sound of the boiling of the milk, those who are really good at the kitchen, they can hear even the minutest of sounds. They can make out exactly when the milk is going to boil over. There are some people who stand next to the pot of milk also. In front of them, milk, comes out. A lot of us are so insensitive, isn't it? So Mother Yashoda was doing multiple things and yet she was so attentive. So she realized that pot of milk is very important for me. Imagine how much effort she has put in to get that pot of milk. You understand? 9 lakh cows and 8 and then 1. It's a lot of work. So she said, I can't allow that pot of milk to get, boil over. So she put Krishna urgently down, ran to get that pot of milk. And then, she busied herself in getting that pot of milk. In 1 second, Krishna's life changed. Just now he was drinking the milk of Mother Yashoda and feeling so much of bliss and so much of joy. And suddenly he was just yanked away from that, thrown on the ground like a stranger, and she has gone to attend for that pot of milk. And Krishna felt very bad. As I said, Krishna is a very possessive lover. He's a very selfish lover, You give him attention and somebody else attention, that's all. He can't handle it. Only you have to give him attention. You give somebody else or something else attention in your life, that's all, you had it, basically. And Krishna was so angry. He was so upset. He was furious. And his teeth started grinding. So like really, really getting angry at Mother Yashoda. And to express his anger, he decided to take some revenge. All the revenge fantasies that you see in today's world started from there. Everything originates from Krishna, including this feeling of taking revenge. So he decided, how dare she drop me like that and go for one pot of milk? He said, I have given up the ocean of milk to come and be with her. And she's interested in 1 liter of milk. I have given up the ocean of milk to be with Mother Yashoda. And she's thinking about 1 liter of milk. What nonsense. And Krishna decided this is too much. And he decided he needs to seek revenge. And Krishna was looking around and he saw there was a small stone which was sharp. And he decided he's going to use that stone and break this pot of butter. But Krishna also knew if he breaks the butter from top, the pot from top, it will create a sound. So he broke the pot from below. The pot is full, right? There's a lot of stuff in it. When he hit from below, it didn't cause any sound. But the pot cracked. And all that, the butter and the yogurt started flowing out from the pot. And Krishna was feeling so good. I did something really naughty, And Krishna, now he realized, but his anger was not satisfied. He didn't feel good enough. He said, I need to do something even worse. Because what she has done to me is really, really bad. So Krishna, he decided to go into the storeroom and mess up there. So now the pot of butter, the yogurt and the butter was spreading, it was becoming like a little puddle, in front of Krishna. And the storeroom was across. So he had to cross over and jump across the puddle and walk to the storeroom. And Krishna, it was a small puddle. And Krishna jumped with all his effort. And somehow he mistimed it and both his feet fell into the puddle only. Can you believe? It is the same Krishna who was Vamanadev. He crossed over the whole universe with one step. And now as Krishna, he is not even able to jump over one puddle, So in Vrindavan, Krishna becomes a little helpless. His godhood doesn't exactly work in Vrindavan, And it has its own mystical ways of malfunctioning, So ideally, Krishna, in the spiritual world, Krishna is known as Trigunatita. That means he is the one who has conquered the 3 modes of material nature. He is unaffected by the 3 modes of material nature. But here in Vrindavan, he gets angry. And he gets very badly angry, If you think you get angry, look at Krishna's anger. He's another level of anger, basically. He jumps over, he falls into that puddle, and he runs. And when now Krishna runs, there are small buttery footprints all over. Wherever he's running, these footprints are also following him, basically. And he enters the storeroom. And in the storeroom, there is a massive stock of butter and yogurt and milk. And he takes every one of those pots and he splashes it on the wall. He throws the milk on the wall, He splashes the butter on the wall. Totally messes up, breaks all the pots over there. And finally, one last pot that is left unbroken, he carries it with him out. And he carries that one pot of butter and he goes to the courtyard. And there, he starts feeding that butter to the monkeys. So he is trying to be as naughty as possible in that circumstance, Mother Yashoda, in the meanwhile, she goes, she takes care of that pot of milk, she saves it, and she does a few other errands, and she comes back to take care of Krishna. And she finds Krishna is missing. And she finds this whole mess, the pot of butter is broken, and it's all messed up. And she follows the buttery footprints, and she reaches the store, and she sees the entire store is really in a mess. And she realizes Krishna is angry. And then she starts following Krishna's buttery footprints. It goes to the courtyard. And Mother Yashoda realizes Krishna has been too naughty. And while she walks out, she finds a stick of Nanda Maharaj on the way. And she picks up that stick. Because she realizes Krishna has to be tamed. She's become too wild, And that stick of Nanda Maharaj is not an ordinary stick. It's a stick that is bejeweled. There are so many diamonds and, very beautiful ornamentation on the stick. And therefore the stick is very heavy, So Mother Yashoda takes that stick and runs out. And she sees something that shocks her. She sees Krishna is sitting on a wooden grinding mortar there and he's feeding butter to the monkeys. And the interesting thing over here, so Krishna does things purposely. So Krishna is feeding the butter to the monkeys for many reasons. One of the reasons is that when Krishna was Ram, these monkeys helped him a lot. And at that time, Krishna couldn't feed them much. He didn't have anything. So now Krishna is king of Vrindavan, so he has a lot of butter. So he's feeding these monkeys as a reciprocation, gratitude for what they did to him, helped him long back. The second reason is, before Mother Yashoda comes, he feeds his monkeys sufficiently. Now the monkeys are all full. They have eaten enough. Now the monkeys are not ready to eat more butter. So Krishna wants to tell Mother Yashoda, your butter is so useless that even monkeys are not eating it. Imagine how intelligent he is. He wants to tell her, you are wasting so much time with that milk and butter. See how useless it is. Even the monkeys are not eating it. The moment the monkeys saw Mother Yashoda with a stick, they all ran away. And Krishna was, his back was towards Mother Yashoda, and he could see in the eyes of the monkeys what was happening at the back. And the moment he saw Mother coming with a stick, he jumped down through that pot and ran away. And Mother Yashoda started chasing him with a stick in her hand, And Krishna, when he sees a stick, he goes mad. He realizes that this is serious business now, All my naughtiness is over, now I'm in trouble, So when you're doing naughty things, you don't really realize, isn't it? You're kind of in that mood of thrill. But that's when, later on you realize. So Krishna is running at full pace and Mother Yashoda is chasing him. See, Krishna is a little boy and he is agile, he is fast. And Mother Yashoda is much older. She got a child also much older in her life, So it's not easy for a mother who is in her 30s and 40s to handle her children who are young and small, with so much energy, isn't it? So Mother Yashoda was chasing Krishna. Krishna was running at full pace. He keeps turning behind, looking at Mother Yashoda. And as he is running at full pace, Mother Yashoda is chasing him. She is coming closer to him. It is explained that on Mother Yashoda's body, on her hair, there are a bunch of flowers. The flowers on Mother Yashoda's hair, they take two sides. Some of the flowers start supporting Krishna and some of the flowers start supporting Mother Yashoda. As I said, everything is animated in Vrindavan, right? Everything has life. So the flowers on the side of Krishna think, we don't want to be on her hair. Because if Krishna sees us on her hair, he will think that we are also with her. So we don't want to do anything with this. And they all drop off from her hair, And the flowers on Mother Yashoda's side, they are thinking, we want to help her to catch Krishna. So if we are going to be on her hair, we're going to add weight to her. She's already heavy and she is not able to run so fast. So let us decrease her burden and they drop off from her hair, So like this, everything in Vrindavan is so animated, right? So everything has life and everything is conscious. Everything is a part of the pastime of Krishna. And Mother Yashoda runs at full pace and somehow catches hold of Krishna. The Acharyas explain, the yogis in the Himalayas, they're running at the speed of the mind to catch the Lord. And after running for thousands of years, they've still not been able to catch the Lord. Here is a simple woman, a simple lady, not so literate, not so knowledgeable, not so austere, but she, because of her love, she's been able to catch Krishna. And Krishna allows himself to be caught, If you remember the story of Kala Yavan, who was running after Krishna, this demon, when Krishna ran away from Mathura. So, Krishna is running at full pace and this demon is chasing Krishna. The interesting thing is that at some point Krishna starts walking and Kala Yavan is running. He's running at full pace. Still he is not able to catch Krishna ever. And here is Mother Yashoda, easily manages to catch Krishna. And when she catches hold of Krishna, she is, shaking the stick in her hand. And Krishna starts trembling. His eyes are just looking at the stick. He is not able to remove his eyes from the stick because he's so scared. And the most amazing thing about this particular story is that Krishna is so scared. He starts crying. He starts trembling. And it is explained that Krishna experiences fear beyond a particular level. So when fear is at its peak, it's called fear is called bhaya in Sanskrit. But when fear reaches a peak, it's called atanka. Atank is the height of fear, Therefore, terrorists are called atangvadis, They create so much of fear, basically. So Krishna was experiencing atank from the stick of Mother Yashoda. And Krishna was rubbing his eyes, crying so much in fear. And Mother Yashoda realizes that, I think I'm scaring my child too much. She throws the stick away. And then Mother Yashoda notices something very interesting. She notices that Krishna's been rubbing one eye of his, And in the eyes of Krishna, there's this black mascara that she has applied. Because Krishna has been rubbing that eye, that black mascara is just smudged all over his face, all over his eyes. And the tears combine with the black mascara and become a black flowing river from his cheeks. And on this side, there is a white flowing river of tears on these cheeks. So the Acharyas explain, this is Yamuna and Ganga flowing. And both the Yamuna and Ganga, both the tears, the river of the tears flows down from Krishna's eyes. And then they go all over his body like this. And then they combine together at the navel of Krishna. In the navel of Krishna forms the Triveni Sangam, Ganga, Yamuna and Saraswati. So Ganga and Yamuna coming from his eyes and Saraswati coming from inside his stomach. The knowledge component. Krishna is the origin of all knowledge. And together inside the navel of Krishna, they form a beautiful puddle. Krishna is scared. And Mother Yashoda realizes that if I leave this child like this only, he's going to do something really naughty because he's too much in fear. And he might even harm himself because he is too scared. So Mother Yashoda realizes that I have a lot of work to do and I need to get this boy stable. And she realizes there's only one way to make him stable, if I tie him up. Mothers in the past had very unique ways of disciplining the children and, stabilizing the children, I don't think those techniques work anymore. But this was Mother Yashoda's patented technique of disciplining Krishna. So she caught Krishna and she decided, this boy has been very naughty, and along with him, the co-conspirator of naughtiness is that wooden grinding mortar on which he was sitting and distributing butter to the monkeys. So she decided to tie both of them together. She caught Krishna, put him on that wooden grinding mortar, she removed a ribbon from her hair and she used that to tie Krishna. Krishna is her baby. She knows the measurements of Krishna, right? She realized the hair from a ribbon is enough to tie up Krishna. So she used that hair, she tried to put a knot around Krishna's waist. When she just tried to put that knot exactly at that point, she realized the rope is 2 fingers too short. So she thought, okay, this rope is small, let me remove. She removed the ribbon from the other hair and she brought it together, she tied it up and she tied again. It was exactly 2 fingers too short. She said, what? How can it be? It is explained that whatever rope Mother Yashoda added to that original rope merged into the original rope. And in the end, only the original rope would remain. So she called the gopis and she told them, get me more ropes. They went and got some ropes from the kitchen. She tied it all up together and she tried to tie up the knot. It was still 2 fingers too short. Now Mother Yashoda was really confused. What's happening? It's not that the waist of Krishna was increasing. It's not that the waist of most people's waist sizes keeps changing drastically. But Krishna, it's not that he was growing like that. His waist was exactly the same, But still, she was not able to tie. So she told the gopis, get all the ropes you can. The gopis went to the Goshala and got all the ropes from the cows, one by one. And Mother Yashoda keeps knotting, and still it is 2 fingers too short. 900,000 cows, all their ropes were got, and still it was 2 fingers too short. And Mother Yashoda said, go and ask all the Vrajvasis to send ropes. Now, the moment people realize that this is a very interesting pastime happening, everyone is sending ropes. Different color ropes are reaching, and different sizes of ropes are reaching, and it becomes a massive rope festival there. Everybody is tying knots, and it's becoming bigger and bigger and bigger. But every time Mother Yashoda tries to tie the last knot, it's still 2 fingers too short. People are confused what's happening, but they are loving the festival. This is a new festival that has started in Vrindavan, rope festival. And this festival continues from morning to evening. It is explained Mother Yashoda started tying up Krishna at 6 o'clock in the morning. It was 6 o'clock in the evening, still she is trying to tie up Krishna. At some point, the gopis start telling her, my dear Yashoda, don't you think you should just give up? It seems that Krishna doesn't want to be tied. It seems that your son is Narayan. Mother Yashoda says, my son may be Narayan, but I'll still tie him up. So, she is not bothered whether this boy is God or not God. She wants to tie him. That's all, So the gopis try their best to try to dissuade her from doing it, but she's so determined that she wants to tie up Krishna. At some point during this whole experience, the gopis start coming, the younger gopis start coming, and they also start giving their ribbons and they start giving their ropes. And finally, Radharani comes. And Radharani gives her rope. And Mother Yashoda ties up that last knot to the rope. And in this time, in this phase, something interesting happens. Mother Yashoda is putting a lot of effort. From morning to evening, she has been really, really struggling hard. And then finally, she is thinking, I think I'm done. I don't think I can do any more. At that time, a drop of sweat from Mother Yashoda's forehead falls on Krishna's body. She's sweating, and one drop of sweat falls on Krishna's body. And that drop of sweat starts talking to Krishna. And the drop of sweat tells Krishna, my dear little boy, your mother is taking so much effort. Why don't you just be merciful to her? When the drop of sweat tells like this to Krishna, suddenly Krishna, his compassionate nature kicks in. We all can be very bad and vicious. Somebody has to remind us, please be kind. Please be calm. And the moment somebody reminds us to be calm and kind, we suddenly start bringing in our kind nature. So this drop of sweat told Krishna and appealed to the kindness of Krishna. And Krishna suddenly decides, I think I have done too much. I have troubled my mother too much. Let it be. And he at that point decides to let himself be tied. Exactly at that moment, Mother Yashoda decides that I want to give up. So Krishna decides to let himself be tied, and exactly at that moment, Mother Yashoda gives up. But though she has mentally given up, she has been tying from morning, right? Her body, out of reflex, continues tying, And she ties one last knot, and that is a knot that binds Krishna. And this is exactly what happens in our spiritual lives. We all are practicing spiritual life. We all are putting our efforts. But at some point we start thinking, I don't think it works. I don't think it's working, And I'm exhausted trying to please Krishna. You know what the interesting thing is? The day you think that you are about to give up, that probably may be the day that Krishna decides to give you mercy. So please try one more day. So Mother Yashoda just sort of reflects, puts that last knot, and that's the knot that binds Krishna. It is explained that Krishna is bound because of two reasons. One reason is because the effort of Mother Yashoda was sufficient, and then it attracted Kripa. So, when you put your effort, and Krishna sometimes at some point feels that this person has really put enough effort, he allows himself to be bound. The second reason Krishna was bound was because the ribbon, the hairband of Radha came. The moment Radha's hairband comes, Krishna can't say no. He can't allow himself to act smart. And immediately he becomes submissive. And therefore, Krishna is known as Radha Damodar. So if all of you are wondering, in Damodar Lila there is no Radha at all. That Radha is in that rope, in the belly. So if you see Krishna's belly and the rope that is binding the belly, there's a little portion of that rope is actually Radha's rope. And that's why Krishna is called Radha Damodar, though he is a little child Krishna. Now, Mother Yashoda tells all the gopis, we have spent enough time with this boy, we have wasted enough time with this boy, let us all go home and do our work. What a Diwali, isn't it? Morning to evening, they are only trying to tie up Krishna, So, technically for Gaudiya Vaishnavas, Diwali, 3/4 of our Diwali is Damodar Leela. And a little part of the Diwali is celebrating the Diwali in the traditional way, basically. So Mother Yashoda tells all the gopis, all of you go home. All of you go and do your work. And let us make the sweets, because Diwali is just about to begin. The night festivals are just about to begin. So everyone goes, leaving Krishna alone over there, tied to the wooden grinding mortar. And when all the gopis and all the gopas, everyone goes home, Krishna is alone over there, Krishna looks on top. On top, in the sky, all the demigods are looking at Krishna with a lot of helplessness. They are seeing the Supreme Personality of Godhead tied like an animal to a wooden grinding mortar. And they are all looking at Krishna and telling, should we come? Open you. Yeah. Krishna tells them, Baba, don't even try. Mother Yashoda might tie you up also. So he tells them, just remain there, And he tells them, this position that I am in right now, bound at my belly by my mother's love, this is the position I want to be in forever. I don't want to trade this position for anything else. I want to remain like this only, bound by my mother's love. And he tells all the gods, you go home, I will manage. So all the demigods, they realize that this is beyond us. We can't understand what is happening over here. We can't understand anything in Vrindavan, they all disappear from there. So when the demigods disappear, all the friends of Krishna come. So far, the friends of Krishna stayed very far away from him, because they realized if they act smart, they will also get tied up like him. So now that he is alone and everybody else is gone, the friends of Krishna come to him. And they start feeling very sorrow for him. They start telling him, my mother has never bound me like this. Oh, my mother has never treated me like this. And Krishna feels a little sad. And the friends of Krishna, they say that, oh, how does it feel to be bound up? And all of them, they start teasing him. They give him a new name, Damodar. And Krishna feels so bad. They're calling him Damodar, Damodar, And Krishna is feeling so teased by them, And all the friends of Krishna, they tell him, they ask him, are you feeling hungry? And the moment they talk about hunger, suddenly Krishna starts feeling hungry, So the last thing he drank was morning Mother Yashoda's milk, right? All day he has not been eating anything. So Krishna says, yes, I'm hungry. So all the friends of Krishna tell him, should we go and get some food for you? He said, yes, go and get. So all of them run home, and from their own homes, they get all different food items. And they sit around Krishna, and they're having a picnic. Even when he is punished, he is finding some way to have fun, We can all learn from this. Even when you're going through big problems in life should continue. Fun should continue, isn't it? So all the friends of Krishna are sitting around each other and they're eating and talking and all. Now after eating, Krishna suddenly becomes strong. He gets strength. He gets up and he starts pushing that mortar, shaking that mortar. The friends of Krishna ask him, Krishna, what are you doing? You're already in so much trouble. What are you doing? Don't get into more trouble. But Krishna is in a very naughty mood now. He's become strong, right? He has eaten so much. He shakes that wooden grinding mortar and somehow he pushes it and the mortar topples over. And the friends of Krishna realized there is no limit to how much trouble Krishna can get into. And Krishna, he starts crawling. And as Krishna starts crawling ahead, the mortar, which has fallen, it's fallen horizontal, right? It starts moving along with him. And Krishna now suddenly has found a new game. He is walking ahead, crawling ahead, the wooden grinding mortar is following him, And all the friends of Krishna, they realize that this boy is going to be in big trouble. They tell him, in fact, Krishna, your mother, for the little naughty thing that you did, she has tied you up to a mortar. If she sees that you are moving along with this mortar, she will probably tie you up to a mountain, So they tell him, don't do this, you will fall in big trouble. Krishna doesn't listen to them. And he starts pulling the mortar and going down. The interesting thing is, the place where Krishna is tied up, it's on a little slope. So when Krishna is going down the slope, the mortar starts moving faster. The wooden grinding mortar starts moving faster. Krishna starts crawling at great pace. And as Krishna starts crawling at the great pace, he starts moving downhill. And all those boys, they freeze on top. Krishna's Leela Shakti freezes all of them on top. They are frozen. That means their bodies are not able to move, their hands are not able to move, their legs are not able to move. Only their eyes are moving. They are not even able to speak much. Why did the Leela Shakti of Krishna freeze all the boys there? The reason was because when Krishna goes below, there is going to be another Leela happening down. And that's not going to be Sakhya. See, in Vrindavan, there are many rasas. Sakhya ras, Dasya ras, Vatsalya ras. So all these rasas are of different types, right? So usually Krishna deals with one rasa at a time. He doesn't like the mixing of rasas. Because when rasas mix, it gets very complicated for Krishna to handle. So he said he handles one at a time, basically. So he realizes that Krishna's Leela Shakti realizes now there is Dasya Bhava going to happen. There's going to be a little bit of Dasya and a little bit of Shantaras going to come in there. And if Sakya Ras comes over there, it will be very confusing for Krishna. So all the boys get frozen on top only. But they can see, with their eyes are moving, they're able to see what Krishna is doing. So Krishna goes down the slope. And as he's going down the slope, he sees right in the corner there are two trees standing there. These are the two Yamala Arjuna trees, who are the sons of Kuver, Nalakuvar and Manigriv. They're standing there as trees for thousands of years now. And they've been waiting for Krishna to deliver them. Many, many years back, Narad Muni, when he visited the heavens, he saw these two boys, two young men, having a bath in the Mandakini Ganga. And while having a bath in the Mandakini Ganga, they were surrounded by many women, they were drinking, and they were completely naked. And Narad Muni comes, immediately all the women cover themselves, but these two guys, they are least bothered. And Narad Muni gets so angry at them for their impudence. Imagine, they were inside Mandakini Ganga and they were contaminating themselves. So you can be inside the Ganga, but not necessarily means Ganga is inside you. There are many people go and have bath in the Ganga. See, having a bath in Ganga can be a very ritualistic way, right? When you have a bath in the Ganga in a very ritualistic manner, it is simply purifying you on an external level, but it is not purifying you on an internal level. So Nalakuvar and Manigriv, they were enjoying themselves, and Narad Muni realized that these guys are too much. He cursed them. You all like to be naked, you all become trees and remain naked forever. And as trees, these two guys were standing over there in Vrindavan. Of course, Nalakuvar and Manigriv begged forgiveness from Narad Muni for their arrogance. And Narad Muni blessed them. I cannot change my curse. You will take birth on earth. But I bless you that you'll take birth in Vrindavan. And I'll bless you that Krishna will come and deliver you all. So now these people have been in Vrindavan for so many years now. Decades and centuries have passed. They're waiting when Krishna will come. And then finally Krishna gets born in Nanda Bhavan, in the same courtyard in which they are existing for years. And Krishna is roaming around doing so many things, but he's not looking at them only. It's been almost like a couple of years, 4-5 years now. Krishna is not looking at them only. Imagine their plight, They can't even walk up to Krishna because they are stuck as trees there. They're bound by their feet. So when Nalakuvar and Manigriv, they feel so helpless. They're bound. They can't do anything. Today, Krishna looks at them. You know why? Because suddenly Krishna can empathize with them. They are also bound. He's also bound. So suddenly he starts seeing, he can see that these guys are suffering, because I am suffering, so surely they are also suffering. So only when you go through some pain, you understand the pain of others, right? So today Krishna suddenly understood the pain of Nalakuvar and Manigriv. He decides, I'll go and deliver them. And maybe if I deliver them and free them, because of the pious activity that I'm doing of freeing them, I will also get freed. So Krishna goes, towards the two trees. And he goes and passes between the two trees. And the wooden grinding mortar goes and gets stuck between the two trees. The boys on top, they are laughing like mad. They're thinking, there is no limit of how much trouble Krishna can get into. Now look at this, he's gone and got stuck between these two trees. They don't understand that Krishna has purposely done it. They are thinking that Krishna has by mistake gone and got stuck between the two trees. And Krishna starts pulling the wooden grinding mortar. So Krishna, he is bound by a rope. That rope is tying another rope that is connected to the wooden grinding mortar. And the wooden grinding mortar is at a little distance away from Krishna. And between them is a small rope. Okay. So now the wooden grinding mortar is touching the trees. Krishna is not touching the trees. He is not at all touching the trees. He is touching the rope that is touching the wooden grinding mortar, which is touching the trees. And as Krishna moves ahead, the wooden grinding mortar understands the assignment. As I said, everything in Vrindavan is animated, right? So the wooden grinding mortar decides, we will not trouble Krishna. He wants to push the trees, we will do it. So Krishna is just there over there. The wooden grinding mortar starts putting full pressure on the two trees. So many people think that Krishna, delivered the two trees and broke the two trees. Actually, Krishna didn't do it. The wooden grinding mortar did it, The wooden grinding mortar felt so powerful because it is connected to a rope that is connected to Krishna. This is called Guru Parampara. Guru Parampara means you are not directly connected to Krishna. You are connected to somebody who is connected to Krishna. And because you are indirectly connected to Krishna, you still feel the power of Krishna. That's the Guru Parampara, So if you find somebody very empowered, you should understand that person's connection to the Guru Parampara is very powerful. And Krishna's power was inspiring the wooden grinding mortar. It started pushing so heavily that the two trees collapsed. When the trees collapsed, the sound that the two trees made was so deafening that literally the entire Vrindavan heard that sound. And the boys were very scared of what happened to Krishna. Because, the two trees fell literally on the place where Krishna was. But it's explained, the two trees fell like this. And Krishna was right in between. Krishna was totally unharmed. And the entire foliage of the trees fell on two sides of Krishna, like a V. And Krishna was inside between the two trees, completely unharmed. And the boys on top were getting worried. What is happening? They had no idea what's happening. And suddenly they see something amazing. They see from within the two trees, two effulgent personalities come out. And these two effulgent personalities are looking at Krishna, folding their hands and offering prayers. And the boys on top, they are not able to understand who those two people are. And they are not able to hear what conversation is happening between Krishna and Nalakuvar and Manigriv. So Nalakuvar and Manigriv start offering heartfelt prayers to Krishna for delivering them. And as they are offering heartfelt prayers to Krishna to deliver them, they're looking at Krishna. Krishna is not looking at them at all. You know what he is doing? He has found a new game. He's sitting there. So when the tree got pulled, the two trees fell, the wooden grinding mortar rolled very fast and reached where Krishna was. And Krishna stopped the wooden grinding mortar with his legs. He extended his leg and stopped the wooden grinding mortar. And he stopped. And then what he did? He kicked the wooden grinding mortar. It rolled away. And then he pulled again. It came towards him. Now he has found a new game. He's kicking, pulling, you know. And these two guys are offering very serious prayers over here, you know. Krishna is least bothered, you know. I mean, in Vrindavan, he doesn't like all this serious business, you know. And they are glorifying him as a supreme Lord. They are glorifying him as a creator of all creators. They are glorifying him in so many ways. And Krishna is playing his game over here, you know. He is like really excited about this new game. And finally, Krishna realizes that these two guys are waiting, you know, for me to say something. He looks at them and tells them, go back to your guru, Narada Muni. He tells them, go back to your spiritual master and offer obeisances to him. The only reason Krishna delivered these two guys, the only reason was because Narada Muni said so. Krishna has nothing to give and take with them. But because the spiritual master, Narada Muni, said Krishna will deliver, he did it. Otherwise, there is no connection only between Krishna and these two people. And Krishna was in a very serious mode when he looked at them. He was playing, having fun. And suddenly for 1 second he looks at them and tells them, go back to your spiritual master, and then continues playing. Then these two people realize, we have nothing to do here and he is not interested in us. They offer obeisances and they disappear from there. As soon as Nalakur and Manigiri disappear, those boys that were sitting on top, they all unfreeze. And suddenly they start rolling over, you know. And all of them come running down to see if Krishna is all right. And they go inside, you know, between the trees, remove all the foliage, and then they see Krishna is here playing a game. And Krishna calls them, you come here. And he shows them his new game, you know. And all these boys, they just amazed at how Krishna is, you know. And they also start, you know, participating in this game with him. And in the meanwhile, the whole of Vrindavan, everyone hears this deafening sound. Everyone comes running, including Nanda Maharaj. And as Nanda Maharaj reaches that place, and he sees these two massive trees have fallen, he gets very worried. And then he gets even more worried when he sees Krishna is between the two trees. And he's tied up to a wooden grinding mortar. Nanda Maharaj gets furious. He says, who has done this? And in the meanwhile, all the Vrajavasis gather over there. And these boys, they are reporting to the Vrajavasis what happened. And they're telling the Vrajavasis, Krishna came down with a wooden grinding mortar. He pulled it and these two trees fell. And two beautiful people came out from the two trees and started talking to Krishna. Something they spoke and they disappeared. All the Vrajavasis think this is too fantastic, you know. They don't believe them only. They think they're making it up, basically. Nobody believes the boys. And the boys realize that, you know, nobody's going to believe us ever, you know. And in the meanwhile, Mother Yashoda also reaches there. And Nanda Maharaj is so furious. He's telling everyone, what happened? Who did this? Why is my son tied up to a wooden grinding mortar? And Mother Yashoda is feeling really awkward because she realizes that she has put Krishna in big trouble. You know, he could have really got hurt. He could have really been hurt by these two trees falling on him. And Mother Yashoda is already feeling so guilty. And Krishna, he realizes that this is the right time to strike. He goes to his father. He talks to his father and he says, Mother did it. And Mother Yashoda is like feeling so bad, you know. She's already feeling guilty. And here Krishna is rubbing it even more by saying, Mother did it, you know. And Krishna is so amazing. He knows how to play the victim card, you know. He's telling his father, I want to be with you only, you know. And Nanda Maharaj, he gets so wild and so angry, he unties the knot. Some time back, the friends tried to do that. All the friends of Krishna, they tried to untie the knot. But no matter how much they tried, they couldn't. Because the knot was tied in Vatsalya Ras. So if a knot is tied in Vatsalya Ras, only Vatsalya Ras or a rasa higher than that, Madhuri Ras can untie it. And Sakhya is little lower than Vatsalya. So the friends couldn't untie it. But Nanda Maharaj, he easily untied the knot. Because he is in Vatsalya, you know, same rasa as Mother Yashoda. And Krishna jumped and hugged his father, Nanda Maharaj. And he says, from now onwards, I'll be with you only. And Nanda Maharaj realizes there is some kind of dynamics that is happening between the son and the mother. And Nanda Maharaj is already angry at Mother Yashoda. Usually, Krishna never comes to him. And now he is feeling so happy that is an opportunity. So Nanda Maharaj asks him that, what will you do when you want milk? Where will you go? Krishna says, I will drink milk from your cows. You have so many cows, I'll drink milk from your cows. And then Nanda Maharaj says, what if you want to play? Krishna says, I'll play with you. You know so many games. I'll play with you only. So Nanda Maharaj carries Krishna and he decides to take him to Yamuna river to give him a nice bath. And Mother Yashoda and all the gopis, they go back home. And Mother Yashoda is feeling so guilty. She's cooking, but she's crying constantly in great guilt that, she's caused so much potential harm to Krishna without realizing it. And Nanda Maharaj in the meanwhile takes Krishna along with him to the Yamuna river. And here, when this, both the parties go in two different directions, Balaram is thinking, which side should I go? Should I go with Yashoda and Rohini, or should I go with Nanda and Krishna? Balaram is trying to be politically right, because he realizes that he needs both of them, So finally he realizes, better I go with Krishna only, otherwise he will not play with me. So he tags along with Krishna. And Nanda Maharaj takes Krishna to Yamuna river and gives him a nice bath on the Yamuna river. And Krishna is fresh and clean now. And he is clinging to Nanda Maharaj constantly. And while he is in this mood of clinging to Nanda Maharaj brings Krishna back home. And when he brings Krishna back home, the atmosphere in home is tense. Yashoda is crying like anything. She's trying to pacify Krishna. Krishna is not looking at her also. He is looking at the other side. Whenever Yashoda goes to him, she is not looking at her. And Mother Yashoda is trying her best to pacify Krishna. He is not interested in looking at her. So Mother Yashoda gives him food to eat. He has not eaten. So gives him food to eat. And Krishna tells Nanda Maharaj, you feed me. And Nanda Maharaj starts feeding Krishna. And Nanda Maharaj realizes there is a lot of tension between the mother and the son. And Nanda Maharaj feels that this is not good, neither for Krishna nor for Yashoda. And Nanda Maharaj feels, on a festival day, why should be there so much complication in the family? So Nanda Maharaj feels, I think I should resolve this. But he knows that with Krishna, nothing can be resolved easily. It has to be another drama. For Krishna, everything is heightened dramas, basically. So Nanda Maharaj tells Krishna, Krishna, today you could have got hurt. Krishna says, yes. And Nanda Maharaj says, whatever happened with you is very bad. And I am the king of Vrindavan. Whoever is responsible for making you in such a situation that you would have got hurt, that person has to be punished. And Krishna doesn't say anything. Nanda Maharaj says, tomorrow morning, in front of everyone, I am going to punish Yashoda with my stick, He says like that. And Krishna starts realizing that this has become serious, He didn't mean that way, So Krishna, he realizes that he's gone a little too much, So Krishna is looking at his father. He's not able to believe that his father is actually saying that. So Nanda Maharaj says, tomorrow morning, I will make sure that Yashoda gets punished with my stick in front of everyone in Vrindavan. And that is the justice. As soon as Nanda Maharaj says that, Krishna runs to his mother, hugs her, and he says, no punishment to Mother Yashoda. And he says, no, he's like, in a protective mood, trying to protect Mother Yashoda. And then suddenly Krishna realizes that he has hugged his mother, And Mother Yashoda realizes that Krishna has hugged her. And suddenly the tension between the mother and son disappears. And both of them start loving each other. And Krishna wants to be with Yashoda only now because he's got into a very protective mood about his mother, And Nanda Maharaj is very happy that the mother and son are reunited together. And then they celebrate Diwali together. This is Damodar Leela. So essentially, what I spoke today is probably a small fraction of what really Damodar Lila is. Damodar Lila is so many details of it, unbelievable details and unbelievable sweetness. This one pastime of Krishna, it brings out so much of love from within the heart. Krishna has such an ability to churn everybody's emotions. He has such an ability to churn everybody's emotions so much. So imagine if one pastime of Krishna has so much of churning of emotions. Imagine if every pastime of Krishna we go into such details, how much emotions can be churned. And therefore Krishna is known as Rasaraj. He's the king of emotions. And all of us in our lives, this material world makes us very insensitive. It makes us very emotionless. It makes us very selfish. It makes us very self-centered. But when we study these pastimes of Krishna, which are so beautiful and so sweet and so melodious, we realize that the spiritual world is full of rasas. It is full of mellows. It is full of sweetness. And all the sweetness that is there in the spiritual world can be brought down to our lives if we start connecting with Krishna in this way. So, I really thank all of you for your patient listening and enthusiastic participation. At this point, if there are any quick questions or comments we can take up. Yeah. In the meanwhile, if while we're waiting for questions and while we're waiting for the mic to go there, I'm just going to quickly give all of you a little introduction of some of my books. We have a small collection of my books here. You can keep it here. Usually, till last 1 year, I've never introduced my books. Whoever have seen the books, they've taken it. But this year onwards, I've started introducing my books because the numbers are almost like 40, And most people, when they see the book table, so many books spread, they don't know what to pick up because they don't know what is there in any book, So I'll just make a 5-minute introduction to my books so that you will have an idea of what to see over there when you go there. This series that you see over here, this 6 books, is known as Ramayana, the Game of Life. This is my magnum opus. This is my life's most important work. The entire Ramayana in 6 volumes. The reason I call it as Ramayana, the Game of Life, is because this series is written in a way where the narration of the Ramayana is authentically written in a very fast-paced narrative. But along with that, there are lessons that you can apply in your life. So every book of the Ramayana, of the series, is one kand of the Ramayana. And every book has at least 200 to 300 life lessons that you can learn from the story of the Ramayana. So many youngsters in Bay Area have already been reading the book. How many of the kids over here, how many people here have been already reading my books? Can you put up your hand, please? Okay. Many of the kids here have already been reading my Ramayana series. I would highly recommend the rest of you all to please go and have a look at the Ramayana series. We unfortunately don't have much books here, but the books will come to you all in a week's time. So you can place a pre-order and the books will reach you all very, very quickly. So in addition to the Ramayana series, we have a few other books here. This is a book called Magic of Friendship. This is an amazing book for youngsters to have, to understand how to make valuable friendships. So this is something that teenagers must explore. This is a book called Shiva. This book has 50 stories on Lord Shiva. Fantastic stories of all the Jyotirlings of Lord Shiva and some of the most amazing stories of Lord Shiva. We say Vaishnavanam Yata Shambho. This book is an exploration of how Shiva is the greatest devotee. This is a book on Hanumanji. This is a book called Chronicles of Hanuman. This is some fantastic stories on Lord Hanuman's life. This is a book called Perfect Love. The tagline says 5.5 ways to lasting relationships. This book is a must read for anyone who is married, who is about to get married, and who's thinking of getting married. And I would highly recommend you all to give this book as a gift to anyone who is going to get married. It will save so many relationships. This book has some amazing stories from our scriptures. These are 6 love stories from our scriptures. And each story talks about how people fell in love, but more importantly, how they stayed in love forever. This book is a book based on which I spoke today. It's called Two Fingers Short. Everything I spoke today is in this book, and there is much more, so you can go and explore. This is a book on Lord Nrsimhadev. This has some amazing stories on Nrsimhadev that you might never have heard before. You can explore this one. This is a book called Stories of Ganesh. This has a collection of amazing stories of Lord Ganesh that I highly recommend you all to explore. And finally, the last book I'm going to introduce you all is called Hanuman Chalisa. This book is one of my best books. This book has every word of the Hanuman Chalisa explained through a story of Hanumanji. You will fall in love with Hanumanji. You will fall in love with Lord Ram by reading this book. I can guarantee all this. This book went on to become a #1 bestseller on Amazon for months together in India. This went on to become #1 most gifted book on Amazon for months together in India. So it's a book that you all must explore. Oh, there are more books. This book is called Mystical Tales for a Magical Life. This is my answer to Harry Potter. If any of you all have read Harry Potter or heard of kids that have read Harry Potter, you must give them this book. This book has 11 unheard stories from our scriptures. Each of the stories is crazier than the craziest story of Harry Potter. I call these stories as crazy stories. And each of them are far out stories. But the most amazing thing is that each story has some lesson that you can learn. I call this as enlightening education. Or rather, enlightening entertainment. So there's entertainment also in it, but it enlightens you like anything. This book is called Plug into Happiness. For all those who are working, who have businesses, this is a book meant for y'all. For all those in the working space, this book talks to you all about how to find work-life balance. It also talks to you all about how to be happy in your workspace. And finally, the last book here is called Timeless Tale to Ignite Your Mind. This book is a collection of 50 stories from the folk tales of India. Stories like Tenali Raman, Vikram Betal, and so many collection of folk tales. Fantastic stories that you can tell anyone. But each story ends with a beautiful message and a beautiful lesson to it. So in addition to all these books, we have a whole collection of kids' books also. I've written almost about 25, 30 kids' books. You can explore all of that over there. So whatever books are available, you can buy them. But if it's not available, you can pre-order them and the books will be delivered to you in a week's time. Thank you very much. And now we can take up some question answers, please. Yes, Mataji. There's a mic. You can pass on. Prabhuji, you can take this. Thank you. You just need to turn it on.
Yeah, it's green.
It's on. Okay, it's on now.
Oh, yay, now we're here. Hare Krishna, thank you so much for this story. It's absolutely incredible to hear it in so much detail, and I look forward to reading the full story in your book. I had a reflection. There was a point in the story where you had mentioned Mother Yashoda had given up, but on reflex, she had kept going. And I love that as a metaphor for our spiritual practice. Even on days when we give up, if we have kept going with sincerity the entire time, then by reflex, we will get to Krishna's mercy and we will be able to bind him by bhakti.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing that. Anything else? Yes.
Thank you, Prabhuji. As always, amazing stories and an amazing way you make us realize the pastimes of Krishna. I had one question primarily, especially when you... actually, I had in mind, but you brought the topic also with respect to Harry Potter. So the thing is, how do we differentiate? Now, that was fiction. And we have all of these stories where we say the milk wanted to boil and the milk wanted to commit suicide. So, but there is authenticity, we understand, at least coming in the parampara. But for a person from the outside perspective, how do we differentiate, like this also appears fiction, this also appears fiction. So where is the thin line? How do you take what is the thing?
So essentially, in my understanding, the difference between, there is entertainment everywhere, isn't it? I mean, Krishna comes into this material world to entertain us and to give us an experience of the spiritual world. Because we are all looking for entertainment. But we're looking for entertainment that is genuine, that is real. So Krishna and his pastimes and all the things that we see in the Puranas, they are extremely entertaining, but they're considered to be itihas. They're considered to be histories. For a layman, it may still seem to be like the mundane entertainment, okay? It doesn't matter. As long as they're getting attracted to Krishna, let them consider it whatever they want, but let them hear. They'll get purified. So the difference between the entertainment of the material world and the entertainment of the spiritual world is that the material world, it only is entertainment. But in the spiritual world, when you hear these stories, it also purifies the heart. So in the material stories, there is no purification of the heart involved because they are not based on Shastra. They are not based on Puranic texts. And they are not based on Rishi Darshan. See, the Rishis, the great sages, they have vision. And based on their vision, they are giving us these details, basically. And when we hear from authentic sources like the sages, we should understand that all that is true. All that is absolutely true. Because we are hearing it from those people that have a realization of the absolute truth. Right? Where do you think all these entertainment movies and ideas came from? It's come from the scriptures only. Where do you think she got these ideas of Harry Potter from? Everything originates from the Vedic texts. All the concepts of psychology that we see today in modern world, they're all originating from there. Everything that we see in the modern world, practically in every aspect, it has its roots, origin from the spiritual world only. So if you see any kind of entertainment happening today which is really entertaining us, you should know the origin is here. So when we are going to the origin and discussing the origin, and the origin is not only benefiting us from an entertainment point of view, but it is also enlightening us. And that's the kind of entertainment that we should look for, basically. So that's my understanding, And of course, if some people say that I don't believe it, it's okay. Let them at least enjoy it, They don't have to believe it. Let them enjoy it. And even when they're enjoying it, they will get purified, basically. So that's the way I would put it.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yes. Is mic here? Pass the mic.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna Prabhu, your lecture was amazing. I just had one question though. So forgive me if you've already said this before, but why is Damodar Leela for a month? So can you please explain? Thank you.
Why is it for a month? Because it is so important that the acharyas felt that we should not just consider it to be a one-day thing. We should celebrate it for the whole of Karthik, basically. So it's a pastime that so because it is such an important pastime from a philosophical point of view, from a rasa point of view, from a spiritual point of view, the acharyas have recommended us to meditate on this pastime for a whole month. Anything else? Any other question? Yes. You can pass the mic here.
Thank you, Prabhu. Brilliant class. Actually, it was so relishing to hear from you. I always admire the way you narrate the stories, pastimes with so much details and so much enjoyment. You yourself enjoy so much. So that's very contagious. Prabhu, I have a question. Maybe it is not very appropriate for the ambience because everyone is relishing the pastimes, but it's very theoretical. So you were mentioning that the rope, it's getting the strength from Krishna because it's kind of connected to the root of the Guru Parampara. And you see that we get the strength from the Guru Parampara. So I have like two parts of the question. One is how to understand somebody is actually very subservient and very strongly connected to Guru Parampara, and how we can be also in that platform.
One of the things that is a proof that you are strongly connected to the Guru Parampara, it is said, tapasya manifests in three ways in our lives. Vani, Vichar, and Ashirvad. So that means if somebody has done intense tapasya, so if somebody has done intense austerities, and if somebody is really blessed by the Guru Parampara, then it will manifest in three ways in that person's life. One is that person's words will have great potency. It will have impact in people's hearts. The second way is that person's thoughts will be sharp, will be deep. It will not be just superficial, it will be really deep thoughts. And the third way is that person will have the ability to give blessings. Will be able to, pull in so many others into a moment. If you see these three things happening, you should know that person is very powerfully empowered by the Guru Parampara. Okay? And how do you get it? Very simple. The two things that we need to do to get the blessings and the connection of the Guru Parampara is observation and service. We need to observe great souls, how they function. When we observe great souls, their actions, their words, their behavior, their dealings, that inspires us to behave in that way. When we behave in the right way, it attracts the attention of great souls. And the second is we serve great souls. Find every opportunity to serve great souls. Every great soul in this world needs assistance. Every great devotee in this world needs assistance in some way or the other. Now, they're not going to come and tell you, please help me. You have to go and figure out ways in which you can find service. So the thing is, and that's the greatness about great souls. They don't come and ask for help, But when we desire to progress in our spiritual life, we must seek service to great Vaishnavas. And my little humble understanding of my spiritual journey, I've realized that whatever I am, whatever I'm able to do, it's simply because I've spent so many years. Even now, I find every single opportunity possible to go and serve great souls. In whatever way, small, big, whatever way you can. And I think that's the greatest secret for our advancement. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. We're run out of time now. Those who want to ask questions can probably come and talk to me personally. I'm really, really grateful to all of you for your patient listening and enthusiastic participation. And I'm so grateful for the opportunity to serve all of you all in ISKCON of Silicon Valley. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
So we will have Damodarastakam now. So if you can just face towards the deities and you can form the line on that side. And devotees can just put the chairs back.
I think I'll need my jacket.
Really nice lecture. I want to ask you something. So you said when Krishna delivered the Yamalabhita to two demigods came out, right? And then they were doing the stated prayers. Krishna was not at all interested in prayers because it's right. It's different, right? But then why didn't they get the mercy?
Why didn't?
Why didn't they get the mercy? Like the red lion. Why didn't he become one of the red? Why didn't they become one of the
I also get another mic? Thank you. Happy birthday. No, just sit.
Can I sit here?
Hare Krishna. If Hare Krishna, if there are elderly devotees, elderly Matajis, Prabhujis, they can come in the front. Elderly devotees.
Yes.
Okay.
Do you have space? Huh? You have space?
I have space.
You have space, right?
Huh? Senior citizen.
Namamishwara Sachidanandarupa Lasat Kundalam Gokule Vrajamana
Namamishwaram Sachidanandarupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Vrajamanam
Namamishwara Sachidanandarupa Lasat Kundalam Gokule Vrajamana
Namamishwaram Sachidanandarupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Vrajamanam
Yashoda Bhiyoluka Ladhavamana Paramristamatyanta Todritya Gopya
Yashoda Bhiyolukaladhavamana Paramristamatyanta Todritya Gopya
Yashoda Bhiyoluka Ladhavamana Paramristamatyanta Todritya Gopya
Yashoda Bhiyolukaladhavamana Paramristamatyanta Todritya Gopya
Rudantam Muhurnitra Yugmam Rijantam Karamboja Yugamina Satanka Nitra
Udantam Muhurnetra Yugmam Rijantam Paramboja Yugamena Satanka Netram नेत्रम्
मुहुश्वासकं पात्रीरिकाङ्ककण्ठा स्थितग्रैव दामोदरं भक्तिभद्रम्
मुहुश्वासकं पात्रिरेखाङ्ककण्ठ स्थितग्रैवं दामोदरं भक्तिबद्धम्
मुहुश्वासकं पात्रीरिकाङ्ककण्ठा स्थितग्रैव दामोदरं भक्तिभद्रम्
मुहुश्वासकं पात्रिरेखाङ्ककण्ठ स्थितग्रैवं दामोदरं भक्तिबद्धम्
इति दृष्ट्वा लीलाभिरानन्दकुण्डे स्वघोषं निमज्जन्तम् आख्यापयन्ता
दृक्स्वलीलाभिरानन्दकुण्डे स्वघोषं निमज्जन्तम् आख्यापयन्ता
इति दृष्ट्वा लीलाभिरानन्दकुण्डे स्वघोषं निमज्जन्तम् आख्यापयन्ता
स्वलीलाभिरानन्दकुण्डे स्वघोषं निमज्जन्तम् आख्यापयन्ता
ददीशिताग्निषु भक्तैर्जितात्मा पुनः प्रेमतस्तं सतावृत्तिवन्दे
तदीयेषितज्ञेषु भक्तैर्जितत्वा पुनः प्रेमतस्तं सतावृत्तिवन्दे
ददीशिताग्निषु भक्तैर्जितात्वा पुनः प्रेमतस्तं सतावृत्तिवन्दे
तदीयेषितज्ञेषु भक्तैर्जितत्वा पुनः प्रेमतस्तं सतावृत्तिवन्दे
वरं देवमोक्षं न मोक्षावधिं वा न चान्यं प्रणेहं वरिषदपीह
देवमोक्षं न मोक्षावधिं वा न चान्यं वृणेऽहं वरेषादपीह
वरं देवमोक्षं न मोक्षावधिं वा न चान्यं वृणेहं वरिषदपीह
वरं देवमोक्षं न मोक्षावधिं वा न चान्यं वृणेऽहं वरेषादपीह
इदं देवपुरनाथ गोपालबाला सदा मे मनस्य वीरास्तां किमन्ये
इदं देवपुरनाथ गोपालबाला सदा मे मनस्य विरास्तां किमन्ये
इदं देवपुरनाथ गोपालबाला सदा मे मनस्य वीरास्तां किमन्ये
इदं देवपुरनाथ गोपालबाला सदा मे मनस्य विरास्तं किमन्यै
इदं ते मुखाम्बोजम् अत्यन्तनीले ऋतं कुन्तलैस्मितैः रक्तैश्च गोप्या
इदं ते मुखाम्भोजमत्यन्तनीलैः ऋतं कुन्तलैस्निग्धरक्तैश्च गोप्या
इदं ते मुखाम्बोजम् अत्यन्तनीले ऋतं कुन्तलैस्मितैः रक्तैश्च गोप्या
इदं ते मुखाम्भोजमत्यन्तनीलैर्वृतं कुन्तलैस्निग्धरक्तैश्च गोप्या
मुहुश्चुम्बितां बिम्ब रक्ताधरां मे मनस्या विरास्तं अलं लक्षलाभे
चुम्बितं बिम्बरक्ताधरं मे मनस्या विरास्तम् अलं लक्षलाभये
मुहुश्चुम्बितां बिम्ब रक्ताधरां मे मनस्या विरास्तं अलं लक्षलाभे
मुहुश्चुम्बितं बिम्बरक्ताधरं मे मनस्या विरास्तम् अलं लक्षलाभये
नमो देव दामोदर अनन्त विष्णु प्रसीद प्रभो दुःख जलाभिमग्ना
नमो देव दामोदरानन्त विष्णो प्रसीद प्रभो दुःख जलाभिमग्न
नमो देव दामोदर अनन्त विष्णु प्रसीद प्रभो दुःख जलाभिमग्ना
नमो देव दामोदरानन्त विष्णो प्रसीद प्रभो दुःख जलाभिमग्न
कृपा दृष्टिवृष्ट्याति दीनं बतानो गृहाणि क्षमामाज्ञ यद्यक्षिदृश्या
कृपा दृष्टिवृष्ट्यातिदिनं बतानो गृहाणे क्षमामाज्ञा यद्यक्षिदृश्या
कृपा दृष्टिवृष्ट्याति दीनं बतानो गृहाणि क्षमामाज्ञ यद्यक्षिदृश्या
कृपा दृष्टिवृष्ट्यातिदिनं बतानो गृहाणे क्षमामाज्ञा यद्यक्षिदृश्या
कुबेरात्मजौ भद्रमुखेव यद्वा त्वयामुचितौ भक्ति भाजौ कृतौ च
कुबेरात्मजौ बद्धमूर्त्यैव यद्वा त्वयामोचितौ भक्तिभाजौ कृतौ च
कुबेरात्मजौ भद्रमुखेव यद्वा त्वयामुचितौ भक्ति भाजौ कृतौ च
कुबेरात्मजौ बद्धमूर्त्यैव यद्वा त्वयामोचितौ भक्तिभाजौ कृतौ च
तथा प्रेम भक्ति
तथा प्रेम भक्तिं स्वकाम्ये प्रयच्छ न मोक्षे ग्रहो मेऽस्ति दामोदरेह
कथा प्रेम भक्तिं स्वकामे प्रयच्छ न मोक्षे ग्रहो मेऽस्ति दामोदरेह
तथा प्रेम भक्तिं स्वकाम्ये प्रयच्छ न मोक्षे ग्रहो मेऽस्ति दामोदरेह
नमस्ते स्तु धाम्ने स्फुरदीप्तिधाम्ने हरियोदरायात विश्वस्य धाम्ने
सुनामे पूर्वदीप्तिधामे हरियोदरायात विश्वस्य धाम्ने सुनामे पूर्वदीप्तिधामे हरियोदरायात विश्वस्य धाम्ने नमोराधिकायै त्वदीयप्रियायै नमो नन्दलीलाय देवाय तुभ्यम् Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jayo Radha Damodar Radha Damodar Radhe. Radha Damodar Radha Damodar Radhe. Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shri Radhe. Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shri Radhe. Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Prahlada वृषभधृता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय नर हरि 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 जय राधा मदन मोहन राधा मदन मोहन राधे जय गौर निताय गौर निताय गौर निताय जय गौर निताय जय प्रहलाद महाराज प्रहलाद महाराज प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय गुरुदेव 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 जय जय गुरुदेव
Can someone please turn on the lights in the back? Please come fast. It's closing. The altar is closing. धीरे से. Hare Krishna. We welcome you all to the Sunday Feast Festival here at ISKCON of Silicon Valley. So thank you all for joining us. So let's give a big round of applause to those who have joined here as well as online. Okay, Hari Hari Bol. Today's discourse was brought to us by His Grace Shubha Vilas Prabhu. He talked on on the occasion of Damodar Leela, giving a lot of details into it. So let's express our gratitude and thank him for a wonderful class. Hari Hari Bol. And we would also like to thank Her Grace Shukeshwari Mataji and Srivasa Prabhu, Shastra Sar Prabhu for leading us the Damodarastakam and the Kirtan. Hari Bol. Also, we'd like to thank the broadcast team led by His Grace Churning Prabhu. So let's give him a big round of applause as well. Hari Bol. So we have two sponsors for tonight. The first sponsor is Her Grace Anaga Sundari Mataji and Satya Sankalpa Prabhu is sponsoring today's feast in the honor and memory of their paternal grandfather. Are they here? They were here. Okay, let's thank them in their absentia. Hare Krishna. So let's give them a big round of applause. And our next sponsor is His Grace Nitai Kirtan Prabhu and Her Grace Nilachal Mataji are sponsoring on the occasion of Dhriti's birthday. So Dhriti, please come here. Haribol. We can't believe you grew so tall and you were such a baby like, maybe a few years back. Okay, thank you. First of all, let's thank Nitai Kirtan Prabhu and Nilachal Mataji for sponsoring the feast. So give them a big round of applause. So Dhriti, how old are you now?
I'm 15.
15, okay. So why do you come to ISKCON of Silicon Valley?
I like the kirtan, the prasadam, and Sunday school.
Thank you. And I know what you like in prasadam.
Everything that's sweet.
She is so sweet that she only loves to eat halwa every time she comes to the temple. So thank you again for your parents, and we wish you all the best in your spiritual life and all the best for in your studies and spiritual life. So thank you. Hare Krishna. And here is a small gift from us. Mahaprasad. Okay. Hare Krishna. And I think that's it for the announcements. We have cooks. Is anyone going to announce cooks today? Nilachal Mataji, you want to announce cooks? No one to announce cooks? I think the whole effort was led by her, so let's give her a big round of applause. And she will announce the cooks, the helper cooks.
Helpers were Nitai Kirtan, Bihari Prabhu, Deepika Mataji. There's a big list. So Deepika Mataji, Mansi Mataji, Abhijit Prabhu, Mrinali, Adam Prabhu, Trupti Mataji, Ravikant Prabhu, and many more. That's all I remember.
Okay, let's give them a big round of applause. Haribo. So what's coming up? Any guesses? What's coming up? Okay, Govardhan Puja, and that's going to be on next Monday, not this Monday, but the coming Monday, 8 days from now. So the details will be sent out. So watch out for email and all the details. We'll have a wonderful festival here at ISKCON of Silicon Valley. So we hope to see you all. Anyway, we will keep making the announcements next week, Saturday and Sunday. But just in case if you are not here, we will be celebrating the Govardhan Puja on next Monday. So please, try to come. It's a weekday. We will mostly have a program in the evening. So look out for the email. Hare Krishna. So now we'll go Prasad Sevya prayers. Oh, I see. We have one more announcement. A very special one. We are celebrating Her Grace Sukeshwari Mataji's 50th birthday. So Sukeshwari Mataji, Haribol. Please, if you can, please come here. As many of you know, she was here before. I don't know if anyone was here before she used to come. Maybe not. When we were there, she was already there, and we saw Srivatsa was born in ISV. Now he is like 6'4". So Mataji, please come here, and we have few words to say.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. I didn't sponsor the feast. I didn't know why it was called, and I was like, what? I'm very thankful for the devotee association here, and whatever little that we as a family have been able to, go ahead in Krishna consciousness is only because of His Grace Vaisheshika Prabhu, Nirakula Mataji, and all of you. So Deep down, I'm extremely thankful to each one of you for being part of our lives. Shastra turned 21 day before. His birthday is on 3rd November and my birthday is on 6th November. And I turn. Please keep him in your prayers. And me and my Prabhu, our entire family, so that we'll be able to go ahead in our journey ahead to please Radharani, Krishna and all of you. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Okay, we'll sing all together. Vanchakalpadrubhyascha. Vanchakalpadrubhyascha Krupa Sindhubheva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Hari 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 Bol. Now, finally, we will have Prasad Sevya prayers. Hare Krishna.
Sharira vidya jo hai kahega jeev pele lobho moisu mati taki jita katina sansare Krishna Damodarastakam Kori bhare jivaja Please come take prasad. We also have Gopi Geet happening at 7 p.m. in the temple.